I'm with Mary Beth Fisk, the CEO of the Ecumenical Center from San Antonio here in Uvalde. Mary Beth, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit. I know that you're a good friend of Mission Park Cares and the Ecumenical Center is, but could you tell us what does the Ecumenical Center do, so understand this?
The Ecumenical Center has been in our community of South and Central Texas for over 55 years, where we bring hope and healing to our community through mental health resources, behavioral health resources, and many other programs that support those who are grieving, those that have gone through trauma.
How does the Ecumenical Center help outside of the San Antonio community, and why is the Ecumenical Center in Uvalde? When did you all come?
The Ecumenical Center arrived the afternoon of the shooting. Unfortunately, this very kind town that very much cares for each other was in a very broken state, having had loss of life of our children and adults as well. The Ecumenical Center brought a team of trauma counselors down. We have maintained bringing teams of up to 15 counselors per day to support the community, to support the families who have lost a loved one, as well as to support those students that were in the building that have also encountered trauma.
Mary Beth, can you give us a little insight? What are people, are you noticing that people are feeling?
Well, truly despair. In many cases, this has been the worst news of their life, that they have lost a child, they've lost a loved one. Overwhelming sadness, as you can well imagine, as the community that's listening in can imagine when they've lost a loved one, but under these tragic circumstances, we don't expect this as an outcome. So being there to sometimes just walk beside them, to listen to them, but with a trained ear that can help guide them to that next step is what's important.
Could you tell us a little bit about the process? I mean, how the counselors are working with them through the grief process?
Absolutely. On Tuesday of last week, when this tragic event took place, much of what we were doing is crisis counseling, providing a presence with families who are anticipating news of their loved one, of their child in many cases. Today, we're working in a slightly different environment and supporting families as they walk through the grieving process with the funerals and celebrations of life, which Mission Park has been such a big part of supporting these families through this most difficult time.
Mary Beth, what do you want people to know about the future and how this community will recover?
There's such tragedy and loss in this community, but knowing that the hope doesn't end. Knowing that there is still hope for their families as they grow. They will never lose the memory of that loved one, but they can certainly acknowledge that memory and live on. But they're going to need support, healing, and hope to continue that journey down the road.
I know that the Ecumenical Center is not federally funded, and it is given by the generosity of those in the community, by financial gifts and contributions. And now the Ecumenical Center is going to have a presence here. And how can people help in the cost of that so that the Ecumenical Center and you and the counselors can do what they do best to help this community through this process?
We know that the most talented among us in working through trauma and grief are those therapists that are in demand. Unfortunately, they are serving with the Ecumenical Center and serving in this community now and will be into the future. But the cost of the best quality care certainly comes at a price. And so the support that the community, as we're a community-funded organization, nonprofit, will be most helpful in being able to continue these services.
Mary Beth, thank you. Thank you to everyone at the Ecumenical Center, all your volunteers, staff, and thank you for reacting and being present and then helping families through everything. We appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts, and we're proud to be in Texas with you.
Thank you, Kristen and Dick. We couldn't do this walk and this journey without you.
At Mission Park and Mission Park Cares, we'd like to bring you more programming each and every week.
Yes, just subscribe here or catch us every Sunday morning on Fox 29.
And remember, at Mission Park, it's our mission to care.